Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Hey, mama. If you are a mom and are tired of the wash, rinse, repeat burnout cycle of motherhood, this podcast is for you. If you feel lonely and isolated in your motherhood journey, this podcast is for you. If you feel like you have completely lost your identity since your babies were born, this podcast is for you. If you feel like every other mom has it together except for you, this podcast is for you. My name is Amanda, and I'm a life coach dedicated to teaching every mom the tools she needs to liberate herself off the back burner. I am living proof that a woman can be present and loving to her kids while also being a whole-ass person outside of being that kid's mom. The secret? Learning when to say fuck it. Hello. I'm a little crabby right now. Having technical difficulties. I bought this cord, this one, right here, so that I would be able to use my headphones while I'm recording to monitor myself. And it still doesn't work. The monitoring only wants to work when I plug my kids' headphones, which are electric blue, into this microphone. I'm not doing that. So I'm just going to do the best I can to pay attention to where my mouth is in relationship to this microphone. And we're just going to get through it, guys. Okay? We're just going to get fucking through this. Oh, I probably should have taken some deep breaths before recording this. But that's not my jam. Plus, I have to pick up my kid in half an hour. No. Yeah, I got to get off this in half an hour. Dance calls and Valentine's Day treats. We have to buy them for the last child. Thank God on high, my junior hire doesn't have to get Valentine's Day treats anymore, except, oh wait, we still do for dance, but at least we don't have to do it for school anymore. I'm done. I'm really done with the buy a Valentine for every fucking kid in everybody's class. It's so much money on candy. Why is candy so expensive? Okay, this podcast is turning into something totally different very quickly because I'm just ranting about all the things that piss Amanda off. Rein it in, Amanda. Rein it in. All right. We are talking about lesson number 3 in our journey to self-love. And for this lesson, we're going to talk about learning a new word. No. This is a word women have a hard time using because we are socialized to put everyone else's desires and needs above our own. We don't want to come off as rude or selfish or have people be mad at us. But you know what? Oh, I lied. No is not a new word for women. We actually use it all the time because every time we say yes to something we actually don't want to do, we're saying no to ourselves. If you needed a chill weekend to decompress after a stressful week at work and your partner wants you to come to a party with him and you say yes, you're saying no to taking care of yourself. If you asked your middle schooler if they had homework at 6 p.m. and they said no, but then come bedtime at 9 p.m., they're like, oh, JK, I forgot. I actually do have homework. And mom, can you help me, please? And you say yes. You are then saying no to you getting wind down time and a full night's rest. If you want to host an intimate Thanksgiving dinner with just you and your kids, or you and your partner and your kids if you're partnered, but you end up dragging everyone on the 3-hour trek to your mom's anyways because you don't want to disappoint her and secretly don't want to deal with the guilt trip, you're just disappointing yourself. We lie to ourselves by thinking that we are avoiding conflict by doing things for other people that we actually don't want to do, because then we end up feeling resentful towards those people in our minds for, quote, making us do it, right? As if we were forced, as if we didn't have an option. And then 9 times out of 10, we'll still end up getting into conflict with them down the road because that frustration will build up in us, and it'll sound something like this. You just don't appreciate all I do for you. Or, we're always doing what you want to do, never what I want to do. Or, I always do everything that you never even bother to ask if I need anything. Sound familiar? The truth is, we lie to ourselves when we say we're really bad at saying no because we say no to ourselves all the time. We say no to the food we actually want to eat because we try so hard to fit into society's image of what our bodies should look like. We say no to the kind of moms we actually want to be, allowing outside influences to tell us what we should and should not be doing in raising our children. We say no to the kind of clothes we want to wear, either because moms shouldn't wear that kind of thing, or we're worried about being judged and shamed for our post-children bodies. We say no to taking care of ourselves in both mind and body because we hold on to the lie that we must always come last. We say no to loving ourselves as we are right now because we think we have to earn love by constantly improving ourselves. Saying yes to your family's desires all the time doesn't make you a better or worse mom. So many of us moms are stuck in this competition for who is the biggest martyr in your family, as if there's some shiny gold star waiting for us at the end. Spoiler alert, there is no fucking gold star. And even if there was, it wouldn't be worth killing ourselves over. So if we're willing to get real, why the fuck are we actually putting ourselves on the back burner? What are we really afraid is going to happen if we don't do that anymore? If your mommy brain is anything like mine, in other words, just a human fucking brain, the fear is going to be something along the lines of, the determining factor of my kids being fucked up messes or thriving humans is me. If I fuck this up, their whole lives are ruined and they'll become some psychos on Dateline and I'll just be another sad mom who says, I don't know how this happened. Johnny was always such a sweet kid in the interview. Extreme, I know. And Southern at the end, I don't know why. But let's be real. Our brains are extreme most of the time, right? That's why we're always catastrophizing everything. Anytime we're worried about something, oh my God, the kid's gonna die. Or, oh my God, we're gonna lose everything we have and end up in a van by the river because brains are extreme. It's okay. But this thought really is the core behind most mom guilt and mom mind drama. We believe that it's up to us to make sure our kids grow up to be great humans as adults. But what if that belief is bullshit? A couple of things here. Exactly two things. Number one, this belief relies on another belief, which is, if not closely monitored, humans will become evil, which would then imply that the baseline human nature is bad or sinful and that it needs constant restraining. Otherwise, that person's fucked. But when you look at babies, what do you see about the true human nature baseline? I see kindness and curiosity, loyalty and love, generosity and compassion. So then I must conclude that the human nature default isn't bad. I think that humans as a whole strive to be the best versions of themselves most of the time. I think love is actually the human nature baseline. Number two, this belief of we have to make sure that our kids grow up to be decent human beings as adults, that's on us. Them as adults is on us right now. That belief is mostly bullshit because it assumes that humans have any kind of control over each other. Kids may be under our care and supervision, but they are still tiny humans with thoughts and feelings and desires that are all their own. If you don't believe me, I raise you any fucking toddler in the history of mankind. Okay? Toddlers know exactly what they want. They don't give a shit about what you want. And that's why there's so much screaming in Target all the time. Now, I'm not advocating for a Lord of the Flies society here. We should do our best to guide them towards values that we feel are important. But ultimately, Our kids get to make their own damn choices, just like every other human. Even when kids have truly fucked up childhood experiences, they still get to choose what kind of humans they want to be when they're adults. And I'm also not saying be assholes to your kids because they get to choose, so it's up to them. Fuck it. Don't be a fucking asshole. Okay. That's not what this podcast is here for. But I am saying that I know people in my own personal life that went through actual traumatizing shit as children, and they grew up to be generous, warm, loving humans as adults because they chose to. And I also know people who had perfectly fine childhoods, like loving parents, didn't get divorced. They grew up in the same house their entire childhood, no drama, no nothing. And they are now walking dumpster fires as human beings in their adult life. And they blame everyone but themselves for their walking dumpster fire existence. At the end of the road of a childhood is always a choice. Fuck that. At the end of every fucking day is a choice. There's so many choices in every single day. We always get to choose what kind of a person we want to be. So if we as moms don't have to carry the burden of our kids' future choices on our shoulders anymore, then we can be free to include ourselves in the equation of our families. Your family is not just your kids and your partner. You are a very important part of that family too. A family should be a unit of people working together, not the mom doing all the work for everyone else. Your kids' desires do not have the final say. Your partner's desires do not have the final say. Your desires matter too. So let's revisit the examples from the beginning of this episode and see what they would look like if you stopped saying no to yourself. You want a chill weekend to decompress after a stressful week. Your partner asks you to go to a party with them. You tell them the truth. You say no, and you stay home. Boom. You get the recharge weekend you needed, and you go back to work on Monday feeling refreshed instead of continued in your existence of frustration and just general pissed offness. I think that's the word, pissed offness. It should be. Your kid asks you for help on homework at bedtime after they had ample amount of time to ask you for help before that. So you say, I would have been happy to help you earlier, but it's bedtime now. So no. Boom. You get to unwind and have a full night's sleep. When your mom texts you about her plans for Thanksgiving, you send her a text back saying, actually, we're going to do an intimate Thanksgiving this year. Thanks, Mom. Done. Boom. Thanksgiving your way instead of your mom's way. Yeah, but then all these people are going to be pissed at me. I don't want to seem like I'm selfish and only about myself. No, boundaries are life. Period. End of story. You're not a bad person because you have boundaries. You're not a bad person because you have thoughts and opinions that do not align with other people's thoughts and opinions. That just means you're in a human condition, a human situation, a very human situation where you're in conflict, right? That's really all conflict is. It's just, I have this idea and opinion, and you have this idea and opinion, and they're not lining up. So what? And also, you can't control other people's feelings because their thoughts control their feelings, and your thoughts control your feelings. That's why even when you do go to Thanksgiving, you sit in a corner all pissed off, and then your mom starts nagging you about what's with you, what's with the bad mood, and then you get into a fight, and she's pissed off at you anyways, right? It has nothing to do with whether you give her what she wants or not, and everything to do with her thoughts on what she's experiencing. Let her be angry. It's fine. It's just a human emotion. It's just a sensation in her body that you cannot control. Look out for yourself first and always. Okay, Amanda, you're making some good points on setting boundaries, but I still don't see how this ties into your self-love series. I love how I gave every mom listening to this like a Valley Girl voice. I don't know what's with my voices today, guys. If this is your thought, it's probably because you're confused about what a boundary is. You probably think boundaries are for when you're trying to change someone else's behavior. Most people think that's what a boundary is for. And I used to think this way too. But the truth is, a boundary is always for you and only for you. The other person doesn't even need to know the boundary exists necessarily. And you won't be able to set a clean boundary if you aren't doing it from a place of self-love. Otherwise, you'll be setting the boundary in an attempt to control or change the other person. And that's called manipulation. And we don't do that. We're not assholes. Okay. We're not picking the asshole way. Example. Let's say my daughters switch dance studios, and this new studio mandates 8-hour Saturday rehearsals every weekend on top of the classes they are already required to take Monday through Friday nights. Excuse me. A schedule like that would not be okay with me because I care too much about the mental and physical well-being of my children because I love them. My love for them would trump everything, and I would have no issue setting a boundary there. We would switch studios in a heartbeat. But I also wouldn't have any drama against that studio owner. They get to run their studio however they see fit. I wouldn't be pissed off and gossiping around town about them, being like, oh, I can't believe they treat children this way. Ugh. It's fine. So, clearly, some people don't feel like that's a problem because they have a thriving business. It's fine. They get to make that choice and I get to make my choice, and we don't have to make it mean anything about the other person. Okay. A boundary is always for you, or if you're a parent, for your kids. And it is made out of love. A boundary is about what you have decided is okay and what is not okay. That's it. That's all it is. Because we can never change any other person. The real reason behind you saying yes to everyone except yourself is because you don't value yourself as much as you value other people. And every time you say no to yourself, you're losing integrity with yourself. A relationship with yourself is like any other relationship you have. In order to have intimacy, not sex, the literal definition of intimacy is close familiarity or friendship. In order to have intimacy in any kind of a relationship, you need authenticity, trust, and consistency. When we say no to everything our bodies ask us for and everything our spirits ask us for, we lose integrity with ourselves. When we make ourselves a promise like, no matter what, I'm staying in tonight because I'm exhausted, but then go out anyways because our friends push us to, we lose integrity with ourselves. What we're saying to ourselves is, can't be trusted. If I say something to myself, it doesn't mean that that's actually going to happen. When we judge and shame our deep, secret thoughts and desires, we lose integrity with ourselves. Those deep thoughts and desires are no longer welcome to the party. We can't trust ourselves with them. Considering this part of the conversation, it's no wonder women have such a hard time loving themselves. You're going to struggle loving someone who is constantly rejecting and denying you. If you cannot learn to start saying no to other people and start saying yes to yourself, you will not be able to truly love yourself. Are you living your best, wild one life? You're not? Why the fuck not? What are you waiting for? The time to live is now, mama. Click the link in my show notes to set up your free 30-minute coaching and consultation so you can experience how life coaching can change your life. You've put yourself off long enough. It's time to pour into you. Join the community of Fuck It Moms by following me on Instagram and Facebook at Fuck It Mothering. That's fuck without the U. So FCK It Mothering. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you never miss your weekly encouragement. And please rate, review, comment, and share. All of these things help with the algorithms so that way when other overwhelmed moms are looking for encouragement, they can find me. Every month, I give away one of my favorite books to a lucky winner. All you have to do to enter is write a review or tag me in social media when you share an episode. See you next Sunday, gorgeous.